the camera, it's not.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's got depth to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the use of the colours work great as well. If you notice, like I said, these yellow lines going in, they make it look brilliant because it draws you right into the 3D.
So that's the actual colour of those rails. It's not that you've photoshopped them.
No, it's the actual colour of the rails.
Right. So you spotted that?
Yeah, it's on the Deansgate locks at the tram stop above the locks.
I tell you what I love as well, the way on the left-hand side, where the tree is just in the right kind of like gap between the post and the, you know, it's just framed really well. And then the work people in the bottom right-hand corner.
If you notice, I've caught the shadow as well.
Show us that.
If you look here.
Right.
Here.
Oh, yeah.
To give you more attention to go into the picture as well, which gives it an extra boost of a 3D look.
Yeah, it makes it look wider, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, think about those sort of shots. You must have got lucky to have it empty. So I guess you might have been there for a while and then praying for somebody not to come out at the other end.
I don't think I waited that long. I think I waited a few minutes. But if you notice as well, it's symmetric. The main subject is symmetrical. The background isn't, but the main bit is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that a technique?
Have you tried it in black and white, Kieran?
What's that?
Have you tried it in black and white?
I can do it in black and white. It's not a problem. I just click monochrome, but I tend to stay away from black and white because everybody bloody does it.
Right. No, fair enough.
Could you do it as black and white but keep the yellow bits?
I could do, yeah.
Really? Right.
Yeah.
That seems like something that's got to take a lot of time to do and sort out, or is it fairly simple when you know what to do?
All I would do is use the selection tools,
right,
and then select the bars, inverse it, and then click on monochrome.
Right.
And everything will be black and white apart from the rails.
Would you do one like that for me so I could see what it looks like?
I can do, yeah.
Thank you.
So does it have a name?
This one?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Hold on. No.
You know what, Kieran? You could have your own projects on there. Not giving you that. Well, maybe I'm giving you ideas because a lot of the bridges, I guess, if you're lucky enough around Manchester, might have some kind of symmetry. I'm thinking that one in Hume in particular, and
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are a bit curvy now, aren't they? So you're going to lose that, like the one at Deansgate Locks and Barca around that way. But you might be lucky. Some of the older bridges might then you've got a bit of a project there, haven't you? Sort of like different sort of bridges with that symmetry.
Well, at the minute, we were up until coronavirus doing street photography up at the Camera Club because we're doing another exhibition. So this kind of thing would be great for that.
Yeah.
I'll show you another
Manchester Camera.
Fantastic.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
You know what? That's a great poster, that is.
Yeah, it is.
It's a tattoo.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Just basically a picture of a rose, and I've just blacked out the background.
Could you move the cursor out of the way, Kieran?
Yeah.
Wow.
I blacked out the background. It was just a picture of a flower. I blacked out the background and used a filter known as oil paint.
Right.
And then basically adjusted the different settings on it to make it more of a watercolor effect. And then I used various colors for certain parts of the rose. So it looks like the light's coming out in a little bit of a direction.
So how long did it take you to do that?
About an hour and a half, 2 hours.
It's beautiful.
So it's almost like you're painting it.
It's on fire.
Yeah, it's like a digital art version of watercolor painting or oil painting.
That would work really well on, I can see that framed, like a borderless picture.
On an album cover.
Yeah.
I was going to say I was going to say a brand of a rock band.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we like that one, Kieran.
Do you not like that?
Oh wow.
Oh.
This is one of my best pieces. I tend to show it a lot of people. I don't think you've seen it before, but it was done in a dark room, so everything was blacked out.
Yeah.
I had like a ball and a glass square, and then I got a pen torch, waved it around, and did what's known as light painting. So I had the shutter speed really slow, so when the camera took the picture, it captured the light from the pen, from the end of the pen.
That's superb.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I've changed the color with the color channel mixer on Photoshop because it was brown because the table was brown. I've changed it to green.
So
it's more neutral color. It goes well with black and it goes well with white at the same time.
It's brilliant. I really like it. That's the type of thing I could see in loads of offices and buildings. You know, some of these glass buildings. It's one of those things I could see on the wall. I'd have
got a very contemporary feel, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Hotel.
Can I just ask how you did it? Because was it pitch black and you left the shutter open?
I had shutter speed on really slow. Had my ISO really high. I can't remember if I used flash or not, but it was in a completely black room. So all you could see was the light on the end of the pen. It's like a pen with a torch on the end, and you just wave it round.
So, and is this done with a digital camera or with film?
A digital camera.
Right. God, I didn't realise you could do that sort of stuff. That's good.
Well, working with shutter speeds is great because you can slow pictures down. So they're good for action shots and things like that.
I tell you what, Kieran. There's some photo. We go on the BBC, and there's a section of the BBC about photography, and we always go on it. The photographs are amazing. I mean, we're particularly the ones of Scotland, as it happens, but they're amazing. They're all from around the world. Some of them are topical, like news items, but a lot of them are what people send in. But one of them was today, and I'd love to be able to do it. And it's one of these where people leave the shutter open on a time lapse, and it's the stars. And so what you effectively get is like sort of concentric circles. You know, circles, lots and lots of circles, say around a normal skyline.
Yeah.
And you get them larger and larger as the stars move through the sky through the night, and they're absolutely incredible. And then it captures comets and all sorts.
Thing is about taking pictures.
Send us on the link to that, Mike.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah, it's if you go. I mean, I say we use the BBC app, and if you go, you can edit the things which to make it personalised. Yeah. One of the options you can do is photography, and honestly, it really does. You know, talk about mindfulness. It's one of those things that we look at most days.
I tell you, who does that sort of thing, Kieran and Mike. Zach's really into.
I'll give you a tip.
Yeah.
I'll give you a tip about taking pictures of the stars. Always shoot in manual focus, because what manual focus does, it works to infinity.
Right.
Rather than a distance. Right. So when you're taking pictures of the stars, it will shoot a lot better.
Right. Well, here's a challenge for you. If, it might be a long if, we're in France in August, you know, there's no light pollution there late at night. Show us how to do it there.
I will do, yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what I'll do, Kieran. If I can get a link of a photograph I'm talking about, I'll send it to you. And I think it might be one of those where you leave it on a tripod and it's literally a time lapse. So whether they come back to it and open the shutter, or they just leave the shutter open, I don't know. But it has to be obviously in a place where, you know, you can imagine a really nice, calm evening and leaving it in a secure place with the shutter open, looking at the stars all night. But they're amazing because you get an image nearby, say it could be above your house, and then in the sky behind it you have these amazing. If you imagine as the Earth moves throughout the night, it leaves a trace of the stars. They look amazing. I'll send you the link anyway.
There's a woman called Martha Cooper whose work I've been looking at recently, and what she did was she captured the hip-hop graffiti.
A bit like that, Mike.
What's that?
Is it a bit
right. That's the aurora. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
There's a woman called Martha Cooper, and in the 80s...
Oh, I see it.
The Northern Lights. Beautiful.
Old Aberdeen.
Yeah. Sorry, Kieran. Go on.
There's a woman called Martha Cooper, and she's a photographer from New York, and she used to... she was the first photographer to capture graffiti.
Sorry, Kieran, the dog just kicked off.
Cleo says hello, Paddy.
Yeah.
Sorry about this. Won't be a minute.
All right.
It's real. We're not in
Yeah,
a
exactly. Yeah, this is live TV, folks.
There's no PowerPoint presentations
We're
here.
just hanging out.
What have you got on the next backdrop now? Paddy.
Just tell him no. No. No.
Oh yeah, it gets a bit moody when it's tea time.
When
Yeah,
it's your tea time.
yeah. Well, sorry.
Because I mentioned
No, there's no worries. We're on a pause.
We've got 3 on the case now. Oh, we can be right moody buggers sometimes, particularly around food.
We know, it's fine.
Yeah, it's good fun. Sorry, Kieran, go on.
What I was saying is, there's a woman called Martha Cooper, and she was a photographer in the mid-80s. And what she did was she captured the beginning of the hip-hop movement in New York. And she took a lot of her pictures with street art methods. And what she did was she captured pictures of like trains and stuff with graffiti on. But the way that she would take the pictures was in the middle where the train would be, it would be still, but everything around it, the depth of field,
All right.
would be in one direction. So you get this emphasis on the train, but around it, it's like it's still moving.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But Liam and Kelm would like her work. She's called Martha Cooper.
Martha Cooper.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll check that out. I think I've been probably I messed about with an SLR camera. I did some photography in college. I know we spoke about this, and I attempted to do some of the sports ones. You know, where you follow the object.
Oh yeah.
The object is in focus and the background becomes blurred, and it gives you that
Yeah.
motion
With your
feeling.
focal
Sometimes
point.
you can get lucky with some of that, but that's the type of thing where I'd like to. I remember trying to do this with Callum on me on my phone, and phones are obviously poo for doing things like this. So it's yeah. But I'm just going to put the light on over there. Won't be a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just turn the floodlights on.
You might need to do the same, Kieran. You're going darker and darker there,
That's as light as the broom goes because the light's not very bright.
isn't it? All right.
It's okay. Lighting is the next phase of our learning.
I can't do
By
it.
the end, we'll all be sat here like a studio setup with 3-point lighting. And,
Cameramen, sound recorders.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, right.
Very good.
There's no rush, guys. Honestly, it's not as if we've got anywhere to go, is it?
I really like the eyes on that guy. You've captured his.
Is that like Market Street? That?
It's across from Victoria Station. There's a guy, he sits there every day. And I go,
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the bins, yes.
Oh, dear.
so what I've done with this picture is I've used a gradient map effect. So what that does is
Just before you do that, just tell us about how
Yes.
you spoke with him,
Start
because you didn't.
at the very start.
You didn't just.
How you got the picture?
Speak.
well, basically, he was sat there, so I said, I'll give you a couple of quid if I can take a few pictures for my project, and he said it was fine. So I took the pictures. What I did was, first of all, I cropped it down to the guys on the right, because you've got to remember the rules of composition.
Which are?
Which you have to have it on the right, because you lead left to right.
Right, okay.
And then, so I cropped it off as well to make it a bit like a panorama, so you can see it's wider than a normal photograph would be.
Yeah.
And then the way that I've done the colouring is, it's this tool on Photoshop called Gradient Map. And what Gradient Map does is, it lets you change pictures into like pop art. And you use the colours that you want for it. So if you notice the guy is darker colours than the background, because that brings emphasis onto the mood of the picture.
Right.
Because it's very musty, cloudy kind of feel, isn't it? So
Yeah.
make it look.
Yeah. No, it's good. When I first saw it, I thought it was 2 speakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my first.
I recall him sat by the bin.
Particularly the one on the left.
On the left, yeah.
Well, every day I used to walk past him on my way to. Well, every Wednesday I used to walk past him on the way up to Camera Club, and I kept saying to myself, "I've got to get a picture of this guy. I've got to get a picture of this guy." And then in the end, I went over to him and just asked him.
Yeah, it's always, that's why I remember you sending those photographs to Judge. I remember thinking that from my own experience, when you point the camera at somebody, it can go either lots of ways. It can go, people don't like it, people are naturally suspicious and also feel like, oh, I've just been caught there. And so it's quite a difficult one, it's a really challenging one so to know that there's some history behind it is good. Rather than just snapping it, that's really good. It's good, and it's difficult.
And we were talking, weren't we, Kieran, about how when you see him again, you're gonna have a bit more of a chat with him, aren't you? And if he's up for it, but you might be able to show him that picture, what you've done with it. Yeah, or ask him his name, and so he's not just a subject. He's.
Well, you might title the actual picture what his name is. So his name might be Adam.
Yeah,
good.
Oh, right, go on.
Twins.
This is basically a portraiture shot. But what I've done is I've taken the picture of the original girl with a mirror at the side.
So that was real. You've not.
That was real.
Yeah.
And then the one on the left is in the mirror.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I've done is, because they have like a dance studio at college and it's got one long mirror, like you have in the dance studios.
Yeah, just move your cursor from the centre of the screen. Cheers.
Yeah.
So we all had these models stuck against the mirror in the dance studios.
So she's stuck to that.
What's that?
She's stuck to that, is she?
No, she's just leaning on it. She's leaning on the mirror.
Dad's on his third glass of wine, Kieran.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Sorry, Kieran, you're doing great.
His humour's off on his first, but on his third.
Right, so basically she's just looking into a mirror. And then what I've done is I've just monochromed it and changed the background to black. So it's quite a simple piece, but it looks quite effective.
So you took the original picture in colour,
then edited it in Photoshop into monochrome, which means black and white.
Yeah. It's not 1960s.
Mm.
The haircut is.
Oh.
Has the woman seen it? The young woman seen it? It's a great photo.
We did it. The college got a load of young girls from a different class to come in.
Mm.
And they signed model release forms, and they let us take a few pictures for the day.
She's a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
She'd be very impressed with that, I suspect.
Well, they actually said to us that they wanted out the pictures that we did, so we all put them on appendix for them.
Mm.
Right, so she's probably seen that then, has she?
She will have seen it, yeah.
It's because you can kind of look at it as how you see yourself.